Hello. So today I have a new awesome and useful stuff just for you. And animation combinations that would be useful for your creations. So if you are wondering how did I get this combinations, or even if you're not wondering, let me still tell you. So in case you don't know, I have a playlist about all Playanimation commands. If you want to check that out, I'll leave the link in the video description. So anyway, I watched again all of my Playanimation videos to see what animations I could combine to make something useful. However, it seems my imagination isn't really working at its full capacity right now. That's why I only made 7 animation combinations. But who knows, maybe you could find something more interesting if you watch my Playanimation commands. By the way, I would really recommend also that you watch first my video about multiple Playanimation commands, to lessen the confusion that you might encounter later on this video. So anyway, let's proceed now to the video. So for our first animation combination, it will be the Knockback Animation. This animation will be a perfect addition for your ability creations that can knock back players. So it would look like this. Kinda weird if we're talking about the animation itself only. But I have prepared a simple knockback command here for demonstration. So let's see what it looks like in an actual scenario. By the way, I didn't add a particle effect on this example, so that you can see clearly the animation. Let me use my dummy account as the test subject. I think it's cool. It makes the knockback much more realistic. Let's try one more. Yep, that's it. Now let's see the commands. So this animation is responsible for the arm animation of the player. By the way, you can change the animation controller name if you want. It doesn't need to be this Oniv 1, that's just a short for animation 1. Now for the second animation. This animation is responsible for the leg animation of the player. In case you noticed earlier, the leg animation of the player while being knocked back is the same animation of a player riding a horse, minecart, or other stuff. Also, don't forget to put different animation controller name here. And the commands on the other side is just to remove the animations. These commands are just to return the animation of the player back to normal. Alright, so that would be all for the knockback animation. Let's proceed to the next one. Next will be the Bubblehead Animation. If you are familiar with the Bubblehead toy, I'm pretty sure you have now an idea about what this animation can do. It can make the player's head to expand. Although I don't know where you could probably use this, but I just think it looks cute. Alright, let's see the commands. So this animation can enlarge the player's head. As simple as that. Now let's see the second animation. The second animation is also the exact command as the first animation. The only difference is the animation controller name. Since this animation is stackable, you can make the player's head to be even bigger by duplicating this command with different controller name. And same commands again to remove the animations. So yeah, that would be our Bubblehead animation. Let's proceed to the next one. This next animation combination is just for fun. It's the Gojo animation. Let's see what it looks like. With this animation, you can pretend to be Gojo. Your body will continuously split while lying down. I haven't really tested its limit, but I'm sure your upper body can go far away if you keep it like this. Also, besides pretending to be Gojo, I can't think of any uses for this animation combination. So it's up to you if it will be useful or not. Anyway, I think it's enough pretending to be Gojo now. Magic. Now let's check the commands. So, this is basically the animation to make the player to lie down. The sleeping animation. And this one is the animation that makes the player's body to split. Same commands again to remove the animations. Alright, so let's proceed to the next one. This will be the fake levitation animation. It will make the player's body to be offset 1.3 blocks higher. I'm not really sure about the measurement though. This is what it looks like. Although the player's body appears to be floating, the hitbox of the player still doesn't change, since this is just an animation. Alright, let's check now the commands. This animation is what makes the player's body to float. Now for the second animation. This animation is just for the walk animation of the player, although it doesn't really look like a natural walk. If you noticed earlier, my walking animation is kinda robotic. Sadly, it is the best walking animation I found for player. I couldn't find a better one. Also, let me show you what it looks like if we don't use this animation. As you can see, the feet of the player is super wobbly. That's why we need to mix it with a different walking animation. Now let's activate again the second animation. It's kinda robotic, but it's still better compared to the previous one. Alright, so that would be all for the fake levitation animation. Next will be the Giga Child animation. I already showed this animation on my multiple Playanimation commands video. This animation will enlarge the player's body. The only sad part of it for the player is that it doesn't affect the legs and head of the player. So it looks really strange. By the way, this animation combination is very suitable for armor stand, and maybe for some mobs also. Anyways, let's check the commands. This animation is one of the most used animation that I've seen so far. It can enlarge the player's body. This animation is stackable, so you can just copy-paste it with different controller name to make an entity's body to be even bigger. Once again, the commands to remove the animations are the same. Alright. Now let's proceed to the next one. This animation combination is pretty interesting for me. The invisible item animation. Using this animation combination, you can hide the item held by the player or entity. Now watch closely the item I'm holding, and my hotbar also. See, of course you can't. My sword is hidden now. Regardless what item I hold, it cannot be seen on my hand anymore. There it is. Now let's check the commands. This animation will make the item held by an entity to look smaller. And to make the item completely disappear from the player's hand, we just need to duplicate this command for 4 more times, a total of 5 animations to hide the item completely. We just need to put a different controller name each time we duplicate it. So yeah, these 5 commands can hide the item held by an entity. And to remove the animations, the same animation here as always, we just need to match the controller name. Alright, so that would be all for this one. Let's proceed now to the last one. Finally, we have here the armored invisibility animation. I really think that this animation would be very useful for a stealth assassin command creations. With this animation combination, player can be hidden even if they're wearing armor. Here you can see that I'm wearing armor. Now let's check it. There, even with armor, I bet no player can detect you on this state. Well, it still depends on how good are you in terms of hiding. Even holding an item will not gonna be a problem, since it will also be hidden. So anyway, let's check the commands. This creeper swelling animation can hide the upper body of a player. And this Enderman base pose animation can hide the player's lower body. Although this specific animation has a flaw. I'll show it to you later. Now even with those 2 animations are enough to hide the player's body, but sadly they can't hide the shadow of the player. That's why we still need this invisibility effect. Here let me show you why we still need the invisibility effect. Not hidden at all. Now let me show you one major flaw of this animation combination. It's about the lower body of the player. Since I can't really find an animation that will completely hide the lower body of the player, so this is the best animation I was able to find to hide the lower body. So when using this animation combination, the upper body is completely hidden, however the lower body is more like offset only for a little bit lower. That's why the lower body can still be seen when the player is jumping. But I think that could easily be fixed right. All you need to do is don't jump while using this animation combination. That's it. And it should work now as intended. So yeah, that's everything I have for this video. By the way, also tried to look for an animation combination for realistic flying, but sadly all of my experiments about that are failed. Since I think the sleeping animation is the only animation that can make the player to lie down, which is I think would probably the best base for flying animation. However, the sleeping animation always override any animations that can affect the head of the player. That's why I can't find a suitable partner for that animation. And it would be really weird if the player was flying while only facing the sky. So yeah, too bad I can't find a flying animation combination. So yeah, that will conclude everything for today. Special mention for Sandyman and America, yeah. Thank you for everything, as in everything. So yeah, that will be all guys. Like, share and subscribe. Bye.